Welcome to the Secrets of the Bible channel. Israelites carry in their DNA an ancient ancestry originating from the Middle East, shared with other populations of Semitic origin. In this second video about the genetics of ancient Israelites, I will also address other Jewish groups that share this same Semitic ancestry. Through various genetic articles, I will explain the origin of the Israelites and of contemporary groups equally recognized. Therefore, I invite you to leave your like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with those who wish to learn more about the genetics of ancient Israelites. The mysterious genetics of the ancient Israelites, the DNA of Abraham, the enigmatic genetics of the ancient Israelites reveal Abraham's Semitic DNA. Genetic studies of Jews are an integral part of the discipline of population genetics employed to analyze the chronology of Jewish migrations. These studies are accompanied by research from various fields, such as history, linguistics, archaeology, and paleontology. All aim to meticulously investigate the various origins of different Jewish groups, also known as Jewish ethnic divisions. In particular, they examine whether there is a common genetic heritage among them all, or if there is a shared ancestor. Studies on Jewish populations and groups have been predominantly conducted using three types of genealogical DNA tests: autosomal, DNA, mitochondrial, mtDNA, and Y chromosome, y-DNA. Genetic studies and tests performed with autosomal DNA aim to analyze the entire genetic mixture and identify which Jewish populations tend to form genetic isolates. Genetic studies and tests with mtDNA or mitochondrial DNA reveal the matrilineal lineage transmitted exclusively from mother to daughter. That is, from woman to woman, the y-DNA, known as the Y chromosome, is passed from man to man. Recently, there has been significant interest in ancient Jewish DNA samples, especially those recovered from the remains of ancient Israelites who lived during the period of the First Temple. These samples were found at the archaeological site of Khirbet Qeiyafa, where Professor Israel Finkelstein led a research. During the study, two individuals, one man and one woman, were examined, revealing that the man belonged to y-DNA haplogroup J2. Additionally, two different mitochondrial haplogroups, T1 and H87, were identified. It is relevant to note that both Arabs and Jews share a major genetic fraction called the Levantine Neolithic farmer, which is considered the common genetic basis of ancient Semitic peoples and is present in both populations, Arabs and Jews. All peoples of the Middle East, both in the past and present, have in their ancestry a significant fraction of the Levantine Neolithic farmer. This genetic component, which largely corresponds to ancient Natufian, 33%, and Anatolian Neolithic farmer, 35%, groups, is considered the ancestral basis of all Semitic peoples. Speaking specifically about Sephardic Jews, a widely recognized Jewish group, especially in Latin America due to the Bi-Anusim, it is important to address their genetic characteristics, including their Israelite ancestral DNA. We will begin by discussing the paternal lineage, or y-DNA, to better understand the genetic inheritance of Sephardic Jews. The most comprehensive study on Sephardic Jews to date was conducted in 2012, led by Professor Harry Oster, an expert in genetic pathology and pediatrics at the Albert Einstein College of Medicine at Yeshiva University in New York, and was published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences of the United States of America. In this study, researchers found that Jews residing in Morocco and Algeria showed a greater mixture of European ancestry in their gene pools compared to those living in Tunisia and Libya. This difference is likely due to the migration of an expelled Sephardic Jewish population, which settled in these former regions after the years 1492 and 1497, respectively. All North African Sephardic communities exhibited a high degree of endogamy. A study conducted by Inês Nogueiro and other researchers in July 2009 on Jews from northeast Portugal in the Trás-os-Montes region revealed that paternal lineages consisted of 35, 2% of lineages more typical of Europe, or 31, 7% in L3, 5%, and 64, 8% of lineages more typical of the Middle East than Europe, E18, 7%, B13, 5%, G3, 5%, J36, 8%, and T15, 8%. Despite a significant portion of 35, 2% of European heritage through the paternal line, Sephardic Jews showed a higher genetic proportion, 64. 8% originating from the Middle East. Therefore, paternally, Sephardic Jews have a closer affinity with other Jewish populations than with non-Jewish Portuguese. Now, regarding the mitochondrial DNA, mtDNA, of Sephardic Jews, a more detailed study conducted in 2008 by Doran Bihar and other analysts examined Sephardic Jewish populations, mainly from Morocco, Tunisia, Libya, as well as Portugal and Spain in general. This study revealed many genetic similarities between Ashkenazi Jews and Sephardic Jews. European mitochondrial gene pools showed some differences between the groups, with, for example, Moroccans showing 27%, Tunisian Jews 43%, and Libyan Jews 39.8%. It was suggested by Berar that a significant portion of this mitochondrial DNA from Libyan Jews may be associated with a woman carrying the X2E1, a 1 lineage. When it comes to genetic data from ancient Israelite DNA, Sephardic Jews have between 30% to 43% of ancient Israelite DNA in their veins, a proportion similar to that found in Ashkenazi Jews. Additionally, both groups share a similar level of Iberian-European genetic origin, which corresponds to approximately 57% of the Sephardic Jewish heritage, showing similarity with their Ashkenazi counterparts. Now, speaking about the Jews of Ethiopia, also known as Beta Israel, or simply Black Jews, various genetic studies have been conducted to investigate their ancestral origins. Despite genetic claims of descent from ancient Israelites, it is important to analyze their DNA through these studies to determine the veracity of these claims, especially regarding the tribe of Dan, as some assert. Let's begin by examining the uniparental lineages. Genealogical DNA tests enable research into both paternal and maternal ancestry. According to Krushin et al., in 2002, haplogroup A is the most common paternal lineage among Ethiopian Jews, present in about 41% of Beta Israel. This lineage is mainly associated with Nilotic Saharan and Khoisan language populations. However, the branches carried by Ethiopian Jews are predominantly of the AY23865 variety, a Y23865. Approximately 18% of Ethiopian Jews carry the haplogroup EP2XM35XM2, with the majority of these lineages belonging to EN329, found in ancient DNA isolated from a family. That is the cross with this cross pickup on the hand, and you take this hand to play on both hands. Further analysis shows that haplogroup EM35, carried by Ethiopian Jews, originates primarily from the Horn of Africa, rather than being of Levantine origin from the Middle East. A mitochondrial DNA study conducted in 2011, focused on the maternal ancestry of 41 Beta Israel, shows that found that they carried 2% of macrohaplogroup L commonly found in Africa. The remainder consisted of Eurasian origin lineages, such as 22% of R0, 19, 5% of M1, 5% of W, and 5% of U. However, no identical haplotype was shared between Jewish and Ethiopian populations, suggesting very limited gene flow between them and potentially distinct maternal population histories. The maternal ancestral profile of Beta Israel is similar to that of populations in the Ethiopian highlands themselves. Regarding autosomal ancestry, autosomal DNA of Ethiopian Jews was examined in a comprehensive study conducted by Tishkov et al. In 2009. According to cluster analysis, Beta Israel generally grouped with other Cushitic language populations in Ethiopia. Autosomally, Beta Israel are closer to populations in the Horn of Africa region than to any other Jewish population, including Ethiopian Jews. According to a 2020 study, the majority of Ethiopian Jewish DNA is of Eastern African, non-Semitic origin. However, about 20% of their genetic composition is of Semitic origin from the Middle East, showing similarities with modern Jewish and Arab populations. Although Jewish DNA is present in Ethiopian Jews at lower levels around 10%, it is mixed with Arab DNA, a totaling about 20% of Semitic DNA coming from both Arabs and Jews in comparison. The Eastern African genetics of Beta Israel are predominant, accounting for 80% of their genetics. I thank all who have watched thus far. If desired, I can make a third part about ancient Israelite genetics. Leave your comments about what you think of Sephardic and Beta Israel genetics. May God bless and see you soon.